Spurs and the Clippers, and well, come on, the Clippers to be laying points here to this Spurs club like this. Come on, I'll tell you right now, I'm on the Spurs. When you get Pop, it's kind of like I don't want to equate it to what's going on with Connor Bedard, and the Spurs aren't going to necessarily go to the playoffs and win the playoff games. They might go to the playoffs. Uh, we'll see. I look when you get a guy like this, and I'm not saying because I'd come on here and say, "Oh, Connor Bedard, these basketball can't miss guys are a little bit different. They can miss, but I don't think this guy's missing." Victor Wembanyama. I mean, we could talk about him all day, all night. And the great thing about him is he's not going out there and well, he is actually wowing him if you look at him on the court, how he moves, how he plays, how focused he looks. Yeah, it's still raw in a way, and there's a lot of growing that needs to be done. But man, he plays within. He's a pro already, makes players around him better. So, all of a sudden, uh, right, these Spurs who we looked at with like, oh, who are these guys to a certain extent, right? With Sohan and oh yeah, Johnson, he'll be boy, he looks good. Wait till a couple of years, right? Zach Collins, all of a sudden, right? All these all of a sudden they look like NBA. They look very good. They look like they're here already. Now there's some depth issues with the Spurs, but that's you don't worry about that with Pop and the Spurs, right? You think so once you solidify something, you get Pop working with a superstar. That's why to me, right, when a guy falls and okay, could Pop have gone maybe Pop could have been a high school coach and like led every team to the state title and now the people end up where they end up, right? Guy like David Robinson falls, uh, in your lap. Huge man, 7 foot 2 man, head, great head on his shoulders, mentally stable, whatever. Get together with a guy like Pop, turn that great talent of David Robinson, who was a great college player, of course, at Navy and had to wait to join turn him into a superstar. Could have done it on his own. David Robinson could have been anywhere, gone anywhere, probably been a superstar. But he went with Pop. Then what happens? Tim Duncan, right? Tim Duncan at Wake Forest, hey, he was great. I mean, he was All American. I mean, Wake Forest, those Wake Forest teams were, great, right? In the late '90s, mid to late '90s, whatever it was. But Duncan got with Pop. That same thing's going to happen here. Pop's going to retire. No way. Pop's got himself. I don't know. Maybe he could retire in a couple, but I think this rejuvenates a guy like Pop to get a young player like this, and now you're meshing guys. Look, everybody, Johnson's, a scorer. And you look at the guys around him here, right? Wembanyama, Johnson, Vassell, everybody say, Vassell too. And in this matchup against the Clippers, the Spurs can compete in this game. There's no reason to think they can't cover 8 points here with a Clippers team. Have some injuries too right now with a couple bench players here. So Salty Fly Guy on the Spurs. Thomas is on the Spurs. Here's Ray on the Spurs. I just told everybody we're taking the Spurs. I don't want you guys, I hope you guys agree with. I hope I'm right on the Spurs. There's some bad teams in the West. The Spurs right now, they can do it. They can turn it around. They can get to, I don't know, they can get 30 wins, I would think. We'll see. That won't get you far, but I think this is a great situation. I mean, of course it is. I mean, I just feel like it's going to be on pace a little bit faster than maybe people will say, because I think when you have something like this, you build around it. They've been working, right? All right. And Jason says we got the Thunder, we've got the Nuggets, we got the Oh, he might be behind in the video. Okay, let's just move on. And the Clippers, and look, the Clippers are getting talked about like, hey, maybe the Clippers, maybe now everybody's overlooked them. No, there'll still be some issues, moving forward with the Clippers because you have. Look, I love Kawhi. Everybody knows I love Kawhi. Come in here telling you about Kawhi, and hopefully, I think these guys. You got Westbrook on this roster. I like new Russ, okay, but I don't. But I don't think he's still going to be. I don't think he's the chemistry that you need. And I thought Zoo was great last game. So